love it. I just love it. You ain't never had a friend like me, because that friend, that universal friend, what is within us. And that when Emerson said, if you want a friend, be a friend, but we first must be a friend to ourselves. This is all about the Aladdin factor. And Mark Victor Hansen used to come to my San Diego ministry, and when I had to go out of town, he would speak for me. This is when he was just starting out. No one, it was not a lot of name recognition. And then when he went on and published his Chicken Soup for the Souls with Jack Canfield, and if you recall, Jack Canfield was an elementary school teacher. He wrote a book, 101 Ways to Teach Self-Esteem in the Classroom, beginning with the children, the future generation, right? The future generation. So this morning, we are looking at this magic lamp that each and every one of us has been given. In fact, when I was in Turkey presenting at the Istanbul Medical Center University, I went to this amazing mosque. It was called the Grand Mosque, and it had every kind of, all the wares and the handmade things. It was amazing. I saw this little magic lamp. In fact, I bought it for Fleet because it was just so precious. It was Aladdin's magic lamp, to remind each and every one of us that as we work it, as we polish the lamp, the energy of the universe comes forth. Faith without works is dead. We put the works with the faith. When we put the works with the faith, what are we doing? We're rubbing the magic lamp within us. We are acknowledged that there's a power, a presence, and energy here in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it, and we are using it every single day of our lives. So when Aladdin starts polishing that lamp, and this magic universal genie comes forth and says, your wish is my command. And what I know is that the universe always says yes. When we acknowledge that I am happy, healthy, prosperous, and free, what is the universal genie says? Your wish is my command. When we get up in the morning, we set our tone, we acknowledge that we are co-creators with this universal intelligence. And it states in the Bible, know that ye are gods, a little lower than the angels. Know that ye are gods, that if we are created in the image and likeness of God, whatever we conceive our God to be, whatever name we put on our higher power, it matters not. But to acknowledge that which is within us is greater than that which resides in the world of conditions, appearances, and effects that show up, that we at times give our power away to because it looks so real. But I want us to remember, and I go over this every so often, that the real world is not out there. And when people say, well, in the real world, no, that is the relative world. That is the world of appearances, conditions, and effects that show up and that can change in an instant. In an instant. The real world is within us. Be still and know that I am God. Think of it, that if we are created in the image and likeness of God, whatever we conceive our God to be, whatever name we put on our higher power, to know that which is within us is greater than that which resides in the world. So when Aladdin, he felt, that he was a prince. And what did the genie tell him? That I can allow you to be in a palace and wear princely clothes, but you'll be the same within yourself. So as we arise in our true nobility, created in the image and likeness of something so powerful, we take a magic carpet ride, and we're taking that magic carpet ride here today, beyond time and space, negotiating with what? Reality with a small r. And as we negotiate with reality with a small r, conditions, appearances, and effects move to a higher vibrational frequency. And when Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets of life, think in terms of what? Frequency, energy, and vibration. So it takes it out of the realm of personality. He said, she said, they did, all of that, and takes it into the realm of principle. Well, it's just energy. We're not all going to be a vibrational match, but we still honor that place within each of us that has never been touched by grief. It has never given offense. It has never taken offense. It is the energy of light that is within each and every one of us. And yes, we have disappointments. Things come up where we feel discouraged. We want, the demonstrations. We're not demonstrating as quickly as we want to, but everything has a divine timing and a divine plan. And when we know that and we open the space to allow God to do what God does best by means of each of us who heard that call and answer that call every single day of our lives. This is so powerful. We take this magic carpet ride through the universal energies of light beyond time and space, and we allow ourselves to feel the magic of life. Our affirmation this morning is to acknowledge the mystical, the magical, and the miraculous go before us and prepare the way with ease and grace. Ease and grace are so important. And every morning at 10:15, we set the tone for our service. And I allow our beautiful in-house, beautiful servants of God. And I told them when Jesus said, "Let they who are great among you serve you," our healing, helping hands behind the scenes so that we can come forth and give a message. And this is a universal message of oneness. This is why I love our way of life. It's a universal message of oneness. And so someone in the circle says, I ask for love, a deeper realization of love. I ask for peace, the peace that passes all understanding, the peace of God. I ask for the energy of knowledge, knowing that knowledge and wisdom are within each and every one of us. As we distill that knowledge, what happens? The wisdom comes forth. I've been watching this wonderful series. It's called On the Road with Lilu. She goes all over the world. She interviews everyone that you can imagine, all the luminaries. She hasn't interviewed me yet, but she will. I'm just putting that out there, right? And I have something to say. I have a message, right? In the 45 years of my consecutive ministry, because people say, oh, I've been a minister for 40 years. I said, oh, where is your pulpit and where are you, giving your message? Well, I'm just basically doing weddings and I don't really have a congregation. No, when we're in the field laboring in the vineyard, and when you labor in the vineyard of humanity, sometimes it appears that the laborers are very few, even though the crop is ripe. And when we keep on keeping on and persevere and persist, guess what? We begin to see results. We begin to open the space. We begin to feel the energy of our spiritual treatments. And a spiritual treatment, remember, is a positive prayer of alignment. We do not beg, bargain, and beseech an anthropomorphic God in the sky with a long flowing white beard sitting in a throne with a little black book saying, okay, that's two. No, our God is love. And they that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in them. We are the personification of this consciousness. And as we open the space to this consciousness, something happens. So I'm watching On the Road with Lilu, and she's interviewing Marie Diamond. And Marie Diamond is a Feng Shui expert. And she was virtually undiscovered. She's a very humble woman. She's very unassuming. She is very soft-spoken. And, she's like a loving presence. And so a very famous author hired her to come in and Feng Shui her house. Now, Feng Shui is to bring harmony and balance into one's home. And I've been thinking lately about Feng Shui because I moved 2 years ago, and I have an innate sense of beauty and harmony and balance. And in fact, people come in and say, who decorated your home? And I always say, I did, because I have this talent, and I know that I do. My father was an artist. And he did work as an animator for Disney Studios until they frowned upon him showing up drunk. I come from a long line of alcoholics. I'm the pattern breaker. I am the pattern breaker. So they did not take kindly, but the energy is there. And I feel like it's an inherited energy that we put forth. And I love that when Joan of Angels had her guide come to her and say, you will paint 30 angels in 30 days. I mean, what an amazing commitment that was. And you know what? She did. She created cards. She created placemat. She created coasters. I have a coaster here with her paintings on it. She created amazing things. And you go into her energy field and she has all of her angels and Buddhas and energy of light and even a few wonderful extraterrestrials that also carry a message that are wonderful. I love them. And so we all have our gifts and talents energetically, don't we? So Marie Diamond is a Feng Shui amazing artist. And so she was asked by this famous author, and her name is escaping me at the moment, but then out of that, Jack Canfield asked her to come. And she said, I found myself in Jack Canfield's kitchen. And I, began, sharing what works, harmony and balance, and all the things that, one can do. And out of that, others famous luminaries hired me. And out of that, other famous luminaries hired me. And this very humble, very spiritual, deeply spiritual, humble, unassuming woman. And she said that she went to this transformational meeting and all the big names were there. And she said she felt a little intimidated. And I know that feeling because when I was asked to speak in Oxford, England, and all of academia was there, and I'm like this little minister from Palm Springs, California. And I remember that feeling, and my daughter was sitting next to me and she goes, you're up next, Mom. And so what happened is that most of the people energetically, that's just Miss Minnie and somebody's walking by, so we just draw the larger circle and we include that, don't we? Because we're at the Rose of Sharon sanctuary, and so we just draw the larger circle. So she found herself with all these luminaries and she felt very intimidated. And when I was in Oxford, I was just sharing that I did too, until I realized that English was a second language for all of these people from all over the world that were professors and lawyers and medical doctors, and all of academia was actually there. And then when I got up to give my talk, I gave it from the heart. I did not read notes, and I received a standing ovation. I was the only one that received a standing ovation because people realized that there was a connection there, and I spoke from my heart on world peace. And I believe that we can tip the scales in favor of world peace. And so energetically, she went to this meeting. She felt intimidated, and she said, Jack Canfield said something to her that changed her life. He said, one day, you will be as famous as everyone in this room. And she was asked to be in The Secret. If you've seen The Secret, she gives a beautiful presentation. There are amazing healings in the Secret. There are amazing prosperity demonstrations. And it's so interesting. I have never gotten to the point where I'm unteachable. And I heard the bad press about The Secret, that get all you can as fast as you can. That's not what The Secret is about. And the author of The Secret did a beautiful job on bringing in the spiritual foundation, the mental and emotional aspect, the physical healings, the relationship healings. One man wanted a relationship, and he had pictures, of like a single man, on a beach, a beautiful painting. A single man, another painting was a single man on a mountain praying. And then another painting in the house was a single man on a path. And she said, you want this relationship, this love relationship, yet in your whole house, everything is about a single man. So your artwork now needs to bring in your one true love and how you envision her. And you can have an artist paint that for you. And you need to put things in your home that will attract energetically the love of your life, the relationship of your life. And so she gave these wonderful demonstrations in The Secret. And she had shared with Lilou. Lilou is from France. She shared that she made a declaration, and it just seemed like outrageous. She goes, I want to reach 500,000 people. And she goes, I don't even know where that number came from. I want to reach 500,000 people. And then suddenly she was asked to be on The Secret. The Secret went absolutely viral in all countries. Everyone absolutely loved it. They loved our message. The message of ask and ye shall receive, seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be opened unto you. For he that asketh what? receiveth. He that seeketh, findeth. And he that knocketh on the door, what? The door is opened unto thee. But we have to ask first. And as Jack Canfield, and I only steal from the best, said, if you don't ask, you don't GET. So we have to ask and open the space. So she made this declaration, Marie Diamond, the Feng Shui expert. I want to reach 500,000 people. And she said she went to Monaco and she was to give this presentation in 2 days. And then she had this terrible pain in her stomach. So she went to the doctor and he said, oh my gosh, there's a growth. You need to have surgery immediately. She was to meet all of these amazing people. She had a presentation to do, but she said, I just knew this was not in my reality. And I surrendered. I went to the hospital. They took all the tests. They were going to perform this surgery. And in the next bed was a woman that came in. And she had something going on with her. And she said, oh, I'm so relieved that I'm not in the bed that you're in. And Marie said, why is that? And she said, because my dear, dear friend was in that bed and she died. So Marie thinks, oh, this is a good start, to having surgery. And she said, but my good friend said that I need to transform my life, that I need a Feng Shui expert to come in and absolutely redo my house. And I need to see the secret. And she's telling Marie Diamond in the next bed all of this about she needs to see the secret. She needs to have her house Feng Shui. She needs harmony and balance in her life. And Marie said, I sat there and I thought, this is the universe working. She says, well, I happen to be a Feng Shui expert. And guess what? I'm in the secret. So they sat there. She said they talked all night. The next morning, they took tests of Marie. Guess what? The apparent situation had disappeared in the natural process of life itself. And she said, as they talked all night, that this person, this woman in the next bed, she realized that she was the first one in the 500,000 people that she wanted to reach. And, in a personal way, because you can be on The Secret and you can be in the airwaves. You don't really have a personal experience of these people. But here in the next bed, in the hospital room, there was this woman that needed a Feng Shui expert for harmony and balance, and someone who knew about The Secret. I love the way the universe works. Like attracts like, water seeks its own level, and guess what? Birds of a feather flock together. And I look out here, that I live on a little hill, and all of the wonderful quail and doves and sparrows and squirrels and bunny rabbits, they all gathered together right under my plate glass window. And I get to experience the energy of the winged ones, because we know that we're all on planet Earth, don't we? And so today, as we bless the finned ones below, the winged ones above, grandfather, sun, grandmother, moon, earth mother, sky father. Yes, the creepy crawlies that cleanse and purify the earth mother. The rock people that share their sermons and stones, the standing ones, our guardians, the trees. And our sister, the babbling brook that shares her song in a universe filled with calm. And all the little four-leggeds that romp and roam and muse upon the earth mother, which is their home. And we two-leggeds that walk the good red road of peace and balance together hand in hand, because we did not weave the web of life. We are merely a strand on it. So with great unconditional positive regard, we acknowledge the energy within us. We bow to that energy. We acknowledge that we're all on a magic carpet ride. We acknowledge that the Aladdin energy is within each and every one of us, that we take the lamp and we, put the works with the faith. We rub it. We put the action with intention, don't we? We allow that amazing genie, the universal genie, to come forth and say, your wish is my command. And that everything we say, guess what? Your wish is my command. And when we realize that, we up-level our conversation. We keep our conversations in heaven. We realize that this throat chakra here, remember, a chakra is a wheel of spinning energy in a clockwise fashion. That it is our power center. That which we utter becomes the outer. Decree a thing and it is established unto us. That's why I have been teaching conscious languaging for over 50 years, really, because we want to lift the energy, the highest vibratory frequency. And we can argue that this is what we've always said and this is what I mean, but the universe doesn't know that, because the universe always says yes. And I was sharing last week that a man went to a psychic and she said, ask any question for $50. And he sat down and said, wow, $50, that's really quite a bit. That's expensive, isn't it? And she said, yes. Next question. Right? So the universe always says yes. And ours is the privilege of giving birth to it in a way that forwards and advances ourselves, others, and ultimately the planet. Because guess what? No man is an island. None go their way alone. What we put into the lives of others comes back into our own. This is how it works. And this is why I absolutely love this way of life, because we're all on a journey and we're all going somewhere. And do you know where that is? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. Because we are in a high place and we will not come down. None of these outer things move us. We are in a high place and we will not come down. So I say this morning, namaste. The God in me salutes the God in you, and the God in you salutes the God in me. And if I am in that place in me and you are in that place in you, there is only one of us. Namaste. I say shalom, the peace that passes all understanding, and God bless us, everyone. We are so blessed to be in this way of life. Please know that I appreciate you, I love you, and I really know that we are going higher yet. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you.